Good morning, friends. I keep saying good morning because that's what time it is. It's a Saturday morning here in the summer season, just past the solstice in southeast Michigan. What a time, what a time. I'm hoping to record this video before all the lawnmowers start. And speaking of lawnmowers, I wanted to tell you about this place that I'm practicing. This is my backyard, and I'm so fortunate. I'll have to show you. There's these clovers. I have so many clover patches. The baby bunnies love to eat them. And I've been letting the lawn go, hoping to get kind of like a what do you call it? Like a native plant meadow situation going on. I thought I was going to have to plant all of it. I thought I was going to have to acquire and propagate and cultivate. And what do you know? What I wanted was here the whole time. And I say this because maybe there's something in your life, maybe in the space that you're in right here, right now, that you could be overlooking. And when we practice yoga, we practice focusing our attention on the things that are going well. In fact, we just practice training our focused attention. So let's get started on the mat. I'll meet you momentarily in a seat. And as you make your way there, see if you can cultivate an opening, the possibility of a little bit of gratitude for something. And it could be as simple as dedicating your time to this practice. With that, let's get started. Woo! We've got some morning dew under my feet this morning. Gosh, these purple flowers are so pretty. So here we are in our seat. Once you arrive, give yourself a moment to just say hello to your body, to the sensations it's giving you, to your mind, noticing the thoughts that you brought with you on the mat this morning. And not only the thoughts themselves, but also the state of mind. Perhaps there's an overall emotional temperature, if you will. One of the tools yoga gives us is the breath. It is focused attention and the ability to control the breath. So use your awareness to follow your next inhale all the way into your low belly, and then expand through your ribs all the way up into your chest as if you could breathe into your collarbones, and then exhale from the top to the bottom. Collarbones first, then the ribs contract, and then the air gets pushed out of the low belly. And in this way, we practice diaphragmatic breath. If it helps to visualize, you might think of waves on an ocean, how they kind of crash into shore and then recede back out into the lake, the ocean, whatever body of water you're visualizing. And we'll spend a few moments here anchoring into the breath, listening to the breath. What does it have to tell you in this moment? We're about to stretch and move, and perhaps your body will give you signals like, ooh, this feels really good. This pose is delicious. And it also might give you signals like, we're not doing this today, or like, this doesn't feel good. And I'm going to trust you. I trust all my students, and I trust you to know the difference between discomfort and pain. Right? So discomfort is when your muscles are working and you're getting stronger, or you're building flexibility by stretching into a pose. Pain, on the other hand, is ouchy, pinchy. It's usually in like your joints. If it is discomfort that's so intense that it takes your awareness off the breath, that's also a signal to ease on out of it. And we're not doing headstands or anything, we're not going to hold boat pose for 4 minutes or anything like that. I just want you to know that you're in control. Just like you are with the start and stop of this very breath. Identify your next inhale, use it to reach your arms up. And then flip your palms out. Exhale, hands lower to your sides. Again, inhale, going right back up. Arms overhead, maybe gaze too. Exhale, arms down at your sides. We'll take a few rounds like this, feeling the space expand between the ribs on the sides of your body as you reach up. Keep the length as you exhale, hands back to your sides. Follow the pace of your own breath. The next time you've got your arms overhead, let your palms meet. Take your thumbs together to rest on your sternum. And mindfully dedicate this time, this practice, by setting an intention. Where is it that you'd like to direct your energy? It could be to a goal or an intention. It could be on behalf of a person or a cause. And remember, everything is energy. So where you direct your conscious thoughts for the rest of this class and maybe beyond matters. It matters. All right, once you have it, let your hands rest in your lap. And inhale again, reach up. We're going to exhale, side bend to the right. Just a gentle seated side bend here. You can take a bind at the left wrist, or you can lower right hand to the earth. An inhale takes us right back up, and we're going to exhale, side bend the other way, again binding at the wrist or lowering the left hand to the ground. Inhale to get tall, reaching up with the fingertips. Exhale, hands to your lap. Let's pause to breathe in, shrug the shoulders back, lift the heart, lift with the crown of the head. Then let your shoulders become still. Use an exhale to guide your nose over the right shoulder. Turning at the shoulders, maybe right hand reaches back, left hand crosses the lap, seated twist. So here, we're inhaling for length, getting nice and tall. As you exhale, relax your muscles and see if that relaxation creates a vehicle to go deeper into the pose. Deeper without force, without trying too hard. Just see what shape your body naturally wants to take. Full breath in. And use your exhale to unwind, coming back through center. Pause here, shrugging your shoulders, finding the breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, take it the other way, gazing over the left shoulder. Left shoulder reaches back, right hand perhaps crosses the lap. Exhale, come back through center. Nice job. We're going to inhale, reach up with the arms, and exhale, lower them back down. Take your hands to the mat. Either uncross your legs, swing them behind you, or you can roll over your knees, make your way to a tabletop pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, lower your belly, gaze forward. Cow pose. And then exhale, push the mat away from you as you round your spine. Gaze to your knees or your belly button. Cat pose. We'll do this 2 or 3 more times, just waking up the spine, saying hello to the hips and the low back. And then from here, curl your toes under. Lift your knees just an inch off the ground. We're hovering in our floating table. Good, and then plant your knees, walk your hands, one palm print closer to the top of the mat. With toes curled under, lift your knees, lift your hips, down dog. First one of the practice, maybe of the day, maybe your first one ever. Hello, welcome. We press through the balls of the feet and the fingertips. And we press the mat away from us, ears between the biceps, heart melts towards the floor. Bend at the knees as generously as you need to honor the curve of your low back. And then perhaps you work to invite your heels towards the mat, towards the earth. It doesn't matter if they touch, it's just the direction that you're working toward. And let's exhale, walk our hands to the feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Place your feet hips distance apart, and let's slowly, slowly rise up to stand. I don't want nobody getting dizzy. Okay, and then if you want, you can inhale, reach your arms overhead, and exhale, lower them to your sides. Let's inhale, reach the arms up again. Exhale, take a forward fold. Plant your hands, walk to the top of a mat, top of the mat, so we're in a plank pose. Exhale to lower down halfway, breathe in, find your back bend, and exhale, down dog. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to your feet. Feet are hips distance. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Perhaps your arms reach. And we'll meet with our arms at our sides. This is our sun salutation, letter A variation for today. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold, and make your way to plank. Take a big breath in, and then use your exhale to come down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, press the mat away from you. Curl your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, down dog. We're gonna do a few rounds of this, so please feel free to move at your own pace if you're comfortable doing so, and I'll continue to guide us. Take a full breath in. Exhale, forward fold at the back of the mat. And inhale, stand. Exhale, invite your arms to your sides before inhaling to reach them up again. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands. Walk to the top of a mat. Full breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. And we'll meet in down dog. By the way, you can skip any pose. So chaturanga, if it is like, not right now, that's okay, skip it. From down dog, we're gonna make our way to that forward fold at the back of the mat, and then inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Walk your hands into the plank position and flow through your chaturanga, your half vinyasa. Find your breath in this down dog. And then exhale. We'll do this once more. Isn't it just so fun? We're getting the body moving. Inhale to stand. We're linking breath with movement. Maybe it can be even a little playful. Inhale, reach up with the arms again. Exhale, fold forward. Notice where your attention is. Plant your hands, come to the top of a plank. When you feel happy and grateful, what is it that you're focusing on? Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. When you feel stressed, notice where is your attention. When you feel self-conscious or critical or whatever the experience is, just notice, like, where is it you are placing your divine attention? And for right now, we practice by placing it on the breath. Neutral. Here in down dog, collecting the breath, collecting the awareness. I'm seeing purple flowers, I see milkweed, I see beautiful grass and clovers. What is it that you see? And maybe not with your eyes, but like, what is it that is holding you right now? What is giving you joy? If anything. And if nothing, all right, just notice that too. Full inhale. And we'll exhale, walk to the back of the mat. We're in our forward fold. Inhale to stand once again, arms overhead. We're going to build in some warrior poses. So from the back of your mat, send your weight into the left foot, step the right foot forward, pivot onto the heel of your back foot, warrior one. Inhale to lift your arms. And we're here for a few breaths, so feel the sturdiness of your feet. Gravity's got you. You're not going anywhere. And if you fall over, it's okay. Wobbling is okay. Full breath in. And then as you exhale, open your hips to the wide edge of the mat. Feet are now perpendicular to one another. Arms are parallel to the ground. Press through your back foot, engaging your left glute. Check in with your right knee. When you look down at it, it should be like over your big toe or your second toe when you like through your line of vision. It's over, your knee is over your ankle, but when you're looking at it, what I'm trying to say is there's a tendency for that knee to dip in. So you might even guide it out ever so gently and radiate out from this pose. All the energy of your intention starting from your core and moving out through your fingertips, your toes, up through the crown of your head, amplified by the stability of your breath. And let's inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand lowers to the thigh or around the low back. Right arm reaches up and over. Keep that bend in your front knee. Full breath in. And then exhale, come back to warrior two. Take your hands to your hips. Step to the top of the mat. Tadasana. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then we're going to inhale right back into our standing pose. Option to raise the arms. This time we're going to step the right foot back. So we're going to do the same flow, just a little bit different way of getting into it, okay? So left toes face forward, right toes are at about a 45-degree angle. Heart is lifted. Maybe the inhale reaches the arms up. Full breath in. Slow, controlled breath out. And then follow and exhale into warrior two. Start by adjusting the back foot, then opening your hips, then your shoulders. Gaze is the last thing to enter this pose. Again, checking in with your front knee, with your back foot. Notice your hands. There's a natural way that your hands will want to be. And just notice that. If there's space between your fingers, or if you like to kind of put them together, fingers touching side by side. And notice your elbows. There's a tendency for them to kind of hang down. See if you can point your elbow like straight back. That's going to engage your triceps. Okay? And let's move into reverse warrior. Exhale, back into warrior two. Hands to your hips. Step to the top of the mat. Breathe in, arms overhead. And exhale, fold forward. We're going to pause here. I'm going to offer you two options. So one is we're going to stay in this forward fold. And you can just stay right here like this, stretching the backs of the legs, perhaps the lumbar spine. Maybe you take your palms to opposite elbows and you stay here in a forward fold. You could also plant your hands, step to the back of the mat and move through a chaturanga. And then through down dog, and then finally step back to the top of the mat, forward fold. So if you want to skip all of that, you can. We're going to do this flow a couple more times on each side. So you take what you need and you leave the rest. Inhale to stand. And just pause here, standing on your 2 feet. Weight evenly distributed left to right. And before we move into this flow again, just feel your feet, feel your breath. Find some steadiness in your mind, your thoughts, the cadence of your thoughts, that is, and become the observer. And we observe with non-judgment as we send our weight into the right foot, stepping the left foot back. Inhale, warrior one. We're going to play with pace. So inhale again. Exhale, warrior two. Elbows point straight back, shoulder blades work to meet one another. They won't, of course, but we engage the shoulders, engage the glutes. Backside of the body is active, creating room for the breath in the front. And with your next breath, reverse, stretching through the right side body. Exhale through warrior two, hands to your hips, Tadasana at the front of the mat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward. Yogi's choice here. Stay in your forward fold for several breaths. Or plant your hands, step to the top of a plank, breathe through your chaturanga. Exhale through down dog. And then we'll all meet in that forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale to stand. Left foot stays at the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. Inhale, lift your arms, warrior one. And with your next exhale, warrior two. Breathe in, reverse. Exhale, warrior two, hands to your hips, Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. Yogi's choice, stay here for a few breaths, or move through your half vinyasa. And once you've arrived in your forward fold, inhale to stand. We're going to step the right foot back now. Warrior one, arms lift. Exhale, warrior two. Breathe in for reverse. Exhale through warrior two, hands to your hips, top of the mat. Inhale, reach up. We're going to do this one more time on each side. So you choose. Maybe you stay in your forward fold or build some heat with your chaturanga. There's no wrong answers. There's just your unique way of moving in this body in this moment. Okay, we're in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet are hips distance. Inhale, rise to stand. With your hands at your sides, set a drishti. We're going to add that in this time. A drishti is a focal point for your vision, your gaze. So for me, I'm looking at one brick on the wall over here. You might look at a single spot, something that's not moving, something where you can steady your vision. And with that drishti, send your weight into your right foot, step your left foot back. Inhale, warrior one. Notice what it's like to move when you set your focus on a single point. We've moved through these poses a couple times now. Full inhale, keep your drishti. Can you focus on that spot as you exhale into warrior two? And then, of course, if you need to take a peek at your alignment, your posture in this pose, go ahead and do that. And then gaze over the front fingertips. Drishti stays over the front fingertips as we move into reverse warrior. So left arm lowers, right palm lifts, gaze up. Eyes might be open or closed. If this is uncomfortable for your neck, you can turn your gaze down at your left foot. All right, and then from here, back to warrior two. Hands to the hips, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward, yogi's choice. I'm going to move through a chaturanga. You're welcome to do that or stay in your forward fold. All right, from our forward fold, we're going to do our last flow on the other side. Inhale, rise to stand. Pause to feel your feet, feel your breath, and intentionally set a drishti, a gazeless gaze. You might even soften your vision so you're not looking at the thing, you're looking like beyond it. What a yogi thing to say, right? You're looking past the physical. Okay, so we've set our drishti. Call to mind your intention and embodying that intention, focusing your gaze, focusing your breath as best as you can. Send your weight into your left foot. Step the right foot back. Breathe in, lift your arms, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two without breaking your drishti. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Hands to your hips, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms lift, nice job. Exhale, fold forward. We're gonna all plant our hands, step back to a plank, and we'll meet in down dog. If you care to take a chaturanga on your way there, or a sip of water, or some cat-cow, or anything else that you need, please take it. We're in our down dog for a few moments here. All right, so we're gonna stay in a similar posture to the one we're in now. It's down dog. We're gonna keep our hands firmly planted as we walk our feet into a wide-legged forward fold shape. So begin by stepping your feet maybe to the midpoint of the mat and then off the sides, like way off the sides of your mat. And then press into your hands, reach your tailbone away from your wrists. So we're stretching through the sides of the back body. You might bend one knee more generously and then the other, really getting into your inner thighs, your hamstrings. From here, walk your hands in line with your feet. So everything is at about the middle of the mat. Lift your heart, lift your head just halfway. Bend into the knees, micro bend. It doesn't have to be a big old bend. Hands come to your hips with a straight back. Slowly rise up to stand. It's a long way up, so take your time. And then notice this posture. For example, I'm a little too wide. I gotta heel toe my feet together. So just take a few moments settling into this standing posture. We're gonna inhale, reach up with the arms, star pose. So I'll turn to face you, but you don't have to turn. You can stay exactly as you are. Star pose. Okay, full breath in. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees. Inhale, come back into your star pose. Yeah, this is our flow for the next couple of breaths. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees. Sink low. Inhale, rise up, straighten your limbs. Couple breaths like this. So see that your knees are tracking over your toes, that they're not kind of dipping in, and that your sit bones are in line with your spine. Okay, here's our star pose to, I've heard this pose called goddess squat. We're going to do one more, and then when you're in your squat pose, hang out there. We're going to hold it. So that might involve straightening your knees to give yourself the endurance, the longevity. You're going to feel some heat building, and that's okay. We welcome that. Again, distinguish between discomfort and pain. Fingertips behind your ears. Exhale, right elbow to the right knee. Inhale, stay low as you lift back up through center. And then exhale, left elbow to the left knee. Inhale takes us back up through center. Straighten your legs, lift your arms, star pose. Nice. So if you notice your hips, let's all exhale, hands to our hips. And I'm going to explain some anatomy here quickly. So your toes will impact the sensation in both your knees and your hips. So if you point your toes parallel versus out a little bit, just notice how that changes the experience in your hip and knee joints and adjust accordingly. Yeah? Okay. So find your feet once again. Inhale to lift your arms. We're going to do something a little different this time. As you exhale, let your left hand reach for your right quad. Right arm lifts, standing twist. Inhale, come back to star pose. Exhale, right hand to the left thigh. Inhale, come back to star pose. Again, exhale, left hand to the right thigh. Maybe you have the space to take the left hand to the shin, or perhaps the ankle or the ground. See if you can keep pressing through your left foot, keeping your hips level, so you're not like rotating, splaying the hips out to the side. You're rotating from your thoracic spine, from your mid-back up. So find a place for your hand, your left hand on the right leg. Inhale, lift your right arm. And then let's inhale, come back up to star pose. And this is our flow for the next several rounds of breath. Exhale, right hand to the left leg somewhere. And inhale, come back up. Follow the pace of your own breath, honoring your edge, your range of motion. And notice anywhere you want to speed it up, where you want to go through the motions, I encourage you to slow it down. And the practice here in these poses, to me, is to take up space. Star pose, how much bigger can you get? How much energy can you hold in your field? Without apology. Without any real regard for others, right? Like, you're not going to hurt anyone by being your full self. I got to remind myself of that too sometimes, by the way. Let's inhale, come back to star pose, and we're going to link these two together now. So, starting from your star pose, exhale, right hand to the left thigh or leg. Inhale, come back up. So we're doing our twists. Other side. One breath per movement. Back to star pose. Exhale, goddess squat. Fingertips behind the ears, stay low. One breath per movement as we take side bends. Inhale back through goddess squat. Pause for the exhale and then breathe in back for star. Let's go through it a couple times. Exhale, right hand to the left leg. Inhale, star. Exhale, left hand to the right leg. Inhale for star pose. Exhale, squat for goddess. Pause to breathe in. And then exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, lift through the crown of your head. Exhale the other way. Inhale back through goddess squat. Pause for your exhale. And then inhale, star. We begin again. Right hand to the left leg. Inhale, star. Exhale, left hand to the right leg. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, squat. Pause to inhale. And then move through your side bends. One breath per movement. When you're ready, come back through star pose. One breath per side, twists. And so as we build heat, as we move into these maybe challenging poses, ask yourself again, where is my attention? Are you focused on how strong you are? All right, now we're in our squats. Are you focused on how strong you are? Are you having gratitude for this body that can move, for these lungs that can breathe, this heart that beats? The time you had to practice today, the space that holds you. Inhale, star. Or are you focused on how much it sucks? Like, are you like, oh, I don't like this? And it's okay, we're just observing without judgment. Where does the mind go? Twist the other way. Inhale back to star pose. Exhale, squat. And breathe through your side bends. Clearly I'm feeling pretty playful today. It's a good day, and I just want to share it with you. Let's inhale back to star. Again, if you're comfortable moving at your own pace, like, you don't need my permission. You're in your own practice area, right? I'm not in the room with you. Of course you can do whatever you want. Exhale, squat. I'm just encouraging you to move in a way that suits you. Okay, back to our star, and we'll do this one more time. Exhale, right hand to the left leg. Inhale back to star. Exhale, left hand to the right leg. Inhale, come on back. Exhale, squat. Breathe in, breathe out, side bend. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale takes us up through center, through star. And now remember, you are facing the front of your mat, okay? So we're in our star pose. Take your hands to your hips. Soft bend at your knees as you hinge at your hips. Palms meet the mat. Walk them to the top. And then begin to step your feet back together. Look at that, we're back in our down dog. Inhale, come to the top of a plank. Exhale, lower down halfway. Breathe in through your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come back into a plank. From here, lower your knees nice and wide. Big toes together, sink your hips towards your heels, child's pose. And we use these moments of stillness, of quietness, to let the body rest, to let the mind rest. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. Inhale. Come up to your table. Lower to one hip or the other. Swing your legs around in front of you. Now facing the front of the mat. Okie doke. Just take a moment to acclimate. It's a big transition. And this here is the pose. So heels are on the earth. Toes lift up towards the clouds, the ceiling, the sky. Hands rest just beside your hips. And use the length of your arms to invite length into your spine. So you're not pressing like you're trying to lift up off the ground, but you are pressing your palms gently into the earth. And you're using feedback from your body's own anatomy on how to be in this pose. Can you feel the energy emanating from your heart? Can you feel the fullness of your breath? When you're ready, exhale, walk your hands towards your feet. Taking, again, only what you need, right? So maybe your hands come to your shins. Maybe they reach all the way for your toes. It doesn't really matter where they land. We are looking for sensation in the backs of the legs, keeping a micro bend in the knees. So we're hinging at the hips as we reach our hearts forward. Perhaps with the help of your hands, deepening into this pose. And notice if you tuck your chin to your chest, what happens in the upper back, the area between the shoulders. Inhale, come back to Dandasana. And let's take the fingertips behind the knees. Invite them to bend out to the sides as your footprints meet. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Lift with the heart, lift with the head. And this is a pose that might be available to you. If it is not, you can always take blocks or pillows, blankets outside your legs, like in this area, and kind of rest your legs on them. You can also play with the proximity of your feet and your pelvis. So if you want to adjust it, take your hands behind your hips, lift up off your sit bones and either scoot them closer or further away from your feet. The further away they are, the more of a diamond shape your legs are in, the more you'll stretch your outer hip area, as opposed to bringing everything close together. You're going to get more inner thigh stretching going on. So choose your adventure. And then find the breath. Once you feel what it's like to sustain a full, intentional breath. Full meaning just complete. We're not like filling beyond capacity. Just let it be natural. Let it be what it is. And once you feel acquainted with the breath, maybe you exhale, walk your hands forward. I know some people like to even bring their forearms underneath their shins. I am not necessarily one of these people, but I like to offer the option so you know it's there. And we're going to be here for several breaths. Locate your awareness and place it on the breath. Inhale to come back to your tall seat. Let's take the fingertips outside the knees, invite them together, and just find a gentle seat here. I'm going to do a seated Savasana. If you care to roll all the way down onto your back, you're welcome to do so. I'm choosing to do a seated Savasana. I know this isn't the traditional variation, so if you prefer that way, by rolling onto your back, please, by all means, customize. Shavasana is a practice. It is a posture, but it is intended to allow for integration. It lets the body and mind become still. It's like when you take a cake out of the oven, you let it rest, right? Or a steak or whatever. If you're working on something, there is a point when at its completion, you kind of just let it sit. And that's what you're doing in the artistry of your practice. So find a pose. We'll be here for about a minute or so, not a super, super long time. Unless, of course, you want to disregard this video or pause it or what have you. I'll keep the time. All there is for you to do is nothing. It is a practice of being. So allow yourself to take rest. Begin to call your awareness back into the space, back into your body and your breath. Begin by moving the smallest extremities, your fingers and toes, maybe brushing your thumb over the other fingertips. You might turn your head side to side. Might move the features of your face, allowing the movements now to travel up into the larger joints of the body, closer to your core, maybe elbows and knees, hips and shoulders. And if you're seated, inhale, reach your arms up. If you're laying down, maybe a full body stretch here, pencil stretch. We'll exhale, lower our hands through heart center, acknowledging what you brought with you and what you transformed. So notice once again your intention and acknowledge all the energy that moved through you in this practice. And we'll rest our hands in our lap. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got something wonderful out of this class, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.